Okay, good morning, everybody. We're continuing with 4 minutes of Mishlei. It's been a while, but we'll continue with Perek Yud Aleph, chapter 11. I want to focus on the second pasuk in this chapter. Ba zadom v'yavon kolon. Not cologne, but cologne, which is a Hebrew word. With arrogance then comes disgrace or downfall. Ve'as tzinuim chachma. And with the modest is wisdom, or comes wisdom. What does this mean? With the modest is wisdom. Either you have wisdom or you don't. If you're a bright person, you pick up on things. What does it mean if you're modest? If a person is modest, they have wisdom. So on a very simple level, we know it says in Perek that Ezehu chacham halomei mikol adam, person who is wise learns from everyone. You have to be open to learning different things from anybody, any source of wisdom. But the Rabbeinu Yonah adds a little bit more depth to that in his commentary on Mishlei, and he says as follows. He says, what does it mean to be tznuim chachma? Umiyat devarim memidas hatznuim. When a person has a certain amount of humility, they lessen what they say. V'hatznius goremes chachma lebaleh. And when you have tznius, when you have modesty, that actually causes the person to have wisdom. Ki hatznuim yishma'u v'yakshivu. Because someone who's modest, they will listen. They don't think they already know. They don't think they already. I heard this one already. Or I know what he's going to say. Right? There's people. I don't even have to engage with that person because I know what they're already going to say. That's arrogance. That's not being open. That's not being humble to say, you know what? Maybe I can learn from somebody. And they don't want, he says, to necessarily divulge or reveal everything that's in their heart. So what exactly does he mean here? So I once heard from my Rebbe, Rabbi Elephant, that there's really two steps to this process. The first step, when we're learning something new, we have to quiet the voice in our mind that tells us either we know this already, or this isn't important, or I have a problem with this. First, you have to understand what is being said here. What is the Gemara saying? What is this pasuk? What is this? Whatever it is, what is this article trying to say to me? Before I start to respond, before I start to, this isn't right, or this is that, they're missing this. Just before you have that voice in your mind, quiet that voice, understand what is being stated. That's the first step. Then once you have a chance to understand what's being stated, then there's a secondary sort of modesty that takes effect, which is assimilate that idea instead of having to right away share it with someone else. Right? We hear a good var, a good idea. Our reaction right away is to share it, which is a beautiful thing. It's a nice thing. But there's also a step that oftentimes we skip, which is absorb that idea, let it simmer, develop it, attain it, be kone it for yourself before right away. Kebola kakpolta. The second you absorb it, it's already gone. We're very used to that process of we hear something, we share it right away. But there's a value in keeping an idea for yourself for a moment or two or a little bit longer and developing it and internalizing it. Often we just right away want to share it. Why? Because we don't even have a shelf to put it on. We don't, right? If you have a book, but you don't have a bookshelf, so maybe you just give away that book or put it. You don't have a bookshelf for chachma. You're just right away sending it off. Put it on a shelf. Apply it in your life. There's a letter that Rabbi Elfin quoted from the Altar of Kelm, where he once wrote to his son-in-law, I have a Vort, I have a Torah idea that I've saved for myself for 22 years. 22 years until I was able to acquire it and then be able to share it. I don't know if we're necessarily on that madriga of keeping something. There's also a value in sharing. But don't share before you yourself have tutored over, have really developed it, have really been able to acquire it. There's a famous joke that I heard from Rabbi Y.Y. Jacobson. It's really it's a knock against rabbis. It's true for rabbis. Rabbis are always thinking of what I can use for my drasha. So he said that he once was telling this over to his balabas, and he said, he had this joke that the rabbi is always thinking about his drasha. So he said that the rabbi never does teshuvah because anytime he talks about teshuvah, that's a great idea. That's a great mashal that I could use for my sermon. So then the balabas said, Rabbi, you can use that for your sermon, and you don't have to do tshuva. But the point is, it's always true for everybody. Whenever we hear an idea, first try to see if we understand it, first try to see if we can absorb it, and then later we can share it with others.